I got married when I was in high school for like a 6-month window, just to have sex with a girl, and then.
Wait, what?
I don't know how I feel moment to moment. Do you know how you're feeling all the time?
I'm feeling interested in your story.
We can still hug.
Yeah, I don't press charges.
Yeah, we're all. You're old school.
How old were you when you started?
18.
You had the balls to go up at 18.
Yeah, right at it.
When did you know you wanted to do it?
When I was like 17. Yeah, like before graduating.
Was there
from
any
high
like
school.
moment where you're just like, I'm doing that?
So yeah, I got married when I was in high school for like a 6-month window, just to have sex with a girl, and then.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, go back.
So there was okay.
You got married in high school?
Yeah, in Florida.
Your parents were cool with that?
Very cool with it. Very Muslim. I come from a very Muslim family, very devout. And,
Oh, so you got to get married so you can have sex?
Yes.
So did you tell your parents I'm getting married?
I told my dad, and my dad was into it.
He was like, I get it.
He was so proud of me. Yeah, he gave me $100, and then.
That's kind of the perfect time to get married, because if it goes south,
who cares?
you don't have any money.
Exactly. That's why it was easy. It was easy to get into it, and it was easy to get out of
So
it.
how long were you married for?
6 months. And she was not Muslim. She was a white girl.
At what point did you know you wanted to get divorced?
She dumped me, broke my heart, and then I started stand-up.
Wait,
So
she broke your heart?
destroyed me, man.
So you really love this girl.
I married her thinking like we're gonna be together forever. It's gonna be amazing.
She's fucking me. I love
She's
this
hot.
woman.
She's a little taller than me, white, great. And then, she went to a camp over the summer. She went to a Christian camp, and called me
She
over
had
the
an
phone.
affair?
She had an affair with Christ, with the Lord, and he guilted her into leaving me. And she called me and was like, "It's over."
Did her parents ever know that she married?
Her mom did. Her mom hated it. Her mom.
Well, I would think so.
But why?
Because she's just a kid.
But I am too. And it's like whatever.
Dude, that's not cute.
It's fine. It was so fine. The whole we were dating.
This is such a Florida story.
I know it's very Florida. And it was at the height of like Obama being from Kenya. It was like 2011, like right when that was like the birther thing. That's when Trump was like doing the birther thing. So.
Oh, this is post 9/11. You married a blonde white girl taller than you.
Yeah.
Wow. In
Yeah.
Florida?
In Central Florida. Yeah.
You
where
live
it
it dangerous, man.
It was awesome. It was the coolest thing I've
That's
ever done.
probably what the love was, the thrill of it.
Yeah, there was a thrill involved. For her more. For me, my family was like, he's just getting laid, that's fine.
So you actually fell in love with her and she was just trying to get back at her parents or something like that?
Maybe, yeah.
You felt used, you felt cheap.
A little bit. At the end of it, I was kind of like, this is, I gotta go on stage.
I gotta sell myself more.
Yes, and now
Then you get on stage, okay.
Yeah, and now I'm the least marriageable person. Now I'm just a disgusting
But you must have
comic.
had like, who else had a, as far as like, when I think of my first 5 minutes of comedy that I did,
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about bullshit. You actually came up there.
Dude, it was
A
hard.
grizzled divorcee at 18. That's hilarious.
Yes,
like,
a
man,
divorced-
it's all bullshit.
Yes, smoking a cigarette, going up jaded. Yeah, it was.
What was your alimony, like $11 a month?
Dude, I mean, obviously, it was nothing. It was so easy. Just in and
So
out.
how long? So now you're 18. You're doing stand-up. And
Yeah.
You're meeting women your age,
Yeah.
and you got to be like, yeah, I'm not ready, man. I'm coming out of a brutal
Coming
divorce.
out of a divorce. Yeah, I mean, that became a gauge of like how cool a chick was on her first date, to be like, I've been married before, just to like see if they would freak out.
And what would they say?
Usually they freak out, yeah.
So I got to hear this famous story. This is like hilarious and terrifying
it's the New
all at
Orleans-
the same
yeah.
time. So this is all part of your journey to get weed?
Yeah.
This is why they have to legalize it.
Yeah, right.
You should just be able to go to a store and not have to deal with the pressure of being
Yeah,
the first
and
person
drug dealers
from
are
your race.
so annoying. So we go to the liquor store to get the blunt wrap to roll it up and stuff, and we're with a buddy of my buddies, and you have to get buzzed into this liquor store like it's a jewelry store.
Oh, God.
And it was
Okay.
crazy. So already they were like. There were 2 generations working there, the older dad and then like 2 like 30-something-year-old dudes. One had a gun just tucked into his waistband, and that
New
was
Orleans.
intense, yeah.
Yeah.
And the friend who turns out was a dumb guy, like mimed pulling the gun out, and the other brother was like, I see you doing that. And he's like, come on, man, I have my own gun, it's fine. It's like, oh.
I can't imagine having a loaded gun pointed right down at my ass crack and being able to think anything other than if I move the wrong way.
If I crouch, then yeah, that's my.
All right. So now.
So now we go.
So we've met the.
We met the friend of the friend.
families.
Yeah.
We've gone to the liquor store.
I walk into. We go into the place to smoke, which is in between two houses. We walk behind. There is a FEMA trailer being guarded by a three-legged pit bull. I don't use the term ghetto a lot. I think it's pejorative, but that seemed to be.
This sounds like an episode of True Detective.
Yeah, it's similar to that. There were no cuts. It was shot beautifully.
It was a tracking shot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was great. We get in. There's 5 big dudes in hoodies and like Timbs, and 1 small white girl.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that's the wild card. You got to keep your eye on that.
Right.
That's what you learn.
She has to prove herself.
Right, totally. What did she do to get in the old Chappelle bit? And they were breaking up a rock of crack, like a big boulder. It was the first time I ever seen crack. They were chipping it off, putting it into bags, and it was like, hey fella.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm just here for the weed.
What's going on? Yeah. So I'm like trying to like make it.
This doesn't sound professional. I thought there was always you gave the money to somebody and they ran off to go get it. They don't bring you into the drug den.
I was inundated into it.
Were there adults completely naked working with cocaine on the other side of it?
No. But like American Gangsters. No, not quite. They were all very clothed and pretty serious guys.
Right.
It turns out, and they were breaking up. I'm trying to make them laugh. We're talking about slang, East Coast, West Coast, the South, whatever. I'm just like, the blunt is coming around. I'm like, this is just weed, right? And they were like, no, there's crack in it. So I don't know.
Wait, I thought you were gonna get the weed and leave. Now you have to smoke.
No, we
with
had to
these guys?
smoke it with that. They didn't. We just had to like stay there. Yeah.
So these are crack dealers that your friend knew, and you were gonna go smoke weed with them.
Yeah.
And you thought you were gonna go buy weed. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it turned out a little different than what was in my mind, but it was still, a fun time.
Were you with Denzel, and did he leave you behind at some point? All right.
We smoked the weed, and we're joking. Out of nowhere, the first friend of the friend, who's a dumb guy, takes a gun, cocks it, points it at a guy's head, pulls the trigger, it goes pink, dry fires. Everyone's like, whoa, like that's not cool. And he's like, come on, that was funny. You guys are weak. That was funny as hell. And me and my friend were like, we're gonna get out of here. And we left and we went to a bar near like Tulane, which was like 3 blocks away. It's like Ivy League of the South, and there were guys in like pop collar lilac shirts and khakis, like 3 blocks away from where this was happening.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you're like dealing with all of the stress.
Yeah,
of that,
and I'm like meeting
sweat.
people, and I don't remember my name. It was a lot. Yeah.
And you got weed and a little crack in your system.
Yeah.
Your mom served beer at the vet at Eagles games?
That's what
and Phillies games back in the day?
Yes, she did it for extra money. She did the Eagles, and every day she was so late, because she has 10 kids.
Right.
She was so late, she'd walk. We only live a mile from the stadium.
Right.
So she'd walk to Vet Stadium. She'd see Dick Vermeil running around. She'd go, hey, Dickie. And then she'd run past him, and she was like, I'm almost on time. Dick Vermeil's on his 4th lap around.
So
he would run around.
So she was there during the times of like Ron Jaworski and Harold Carmichael and all of those guys.
That's my favorite, Carmichael.
Did she ever go to the Flyers game, the Broad Street Bullies?
She's obsessed with the Flyers. I know
Oh, yeah.
somebody. It's my favorite story because I can remember my mom being so, like, there's 10 kids in a row home, and it's a blizzard outside. My dad can't get home from the typewriter store, which is uncomfortable, a whole nother subject. But it's only 4 blocks away and he couldn't make it home. Anyway, so he couldn't get home, and on the radio they said, if you could get to the Spectrum, we'll let you in for free, and we give you free hot dogs and hot chocolate. And my mom was like, all right, wrap them up. And she put us on a sled, me and my brother Billy. I think I was 5 and 6, maybe 6 or 7, something like that, somewhere around that age. Charlie and Johnny are like 4 years older than us. They used to fight over who was better, Rick McLeish or Reggie Leach. So my mom pulled us on a sled for 1.5 miles. On the way there, we saw my dog, and we were like, oh shit, she's out. My poor mother couldn't keep track of who was in the house. She's like, oh, there's the dog. Shit.
Oh my God,
But
that's
yes,
making me so sentimental. Like that was a time when like stuff like that, you could just let
Was
your
real.
dog run around.
Oh, yeah.
A mom could drag her kids down the street in a sled. He's on a sled. It's
My
just a
brother Billy
blizzard.
fell off, and I was like, Mom, I'm trying to get her attention, and she's just pulling because she's like, we're getting free hot dogs, we're getting free hot chocolate, we're getting in that stadium. Because we couldn't afford tickets to that. 10 kids with a typewriter repairman leading the charge.
You know what remind me of?
There's
When I was a kid, on Sunday, we all had paper routes, and the newspapers were so big, my dad would drive us around like a Chevy Chevette. He'd have gospel music blasting, and we were sitting on the tailgate with all the papers, and we went over a bump. My brother fell out, landed in the road. It's like, Dad, you lost one. For Christ's sake, you had to turn around.
Damn it. And he got in trouble, right?
Yeah, he got in trouble. Nowadays, there would have been some sort of cell phone footage, and my dad would have got in trouble.
Oh, yeah, he would have been arrested. Or my mother would have been arrested every other day, I think.
I know.
But when we got into the stadium, there was no one in. I mean, the Spectrum, there was no one in there. There was 20 people maybe. So we were on the glass watching Bobby Clark, Rick McLeese, Reggie,
God.
insane.
Dave
and then
Schultz.
Yes, the Hammer. Bobby Clark checked this guy against, and he's like bleeding, and he's holding him, and he's like, you know how they used to fight all the time.
Yeah.
And my brother Billy's just looking like, oh my God. And then he just sat back, and Bobby Clark, it made him laugh, and he was just like, and he skated away.
Bobby
It's
Clark's-
my mom's favorite
He
memory.
laughed because he freaked out. How old was your brother at the time?
We were either 5 or 6 or 6 or 7. We're Irish twins, so we're like neck
How
and
many
neck.
of you are there?
There's 10 of us.
10 of you.
I know. And we're only 15 years apart from eldest to youngest.
God bless your mom.
Terrifying. That's why I could see her in the room watching all the kids
Is that why you were so tough? Because you used to, like, if your brothers got into fights, you used to
Yeah.
come in and you finished it. You were like the
they're-
closer.
Yeah, they're slow. They're like, my brother Billy's a terrible fighter. I hope he sees this. He's the worst. We call him Fredo. Anyway, he's a terrible, so every time he would get in a fight, he was just, I don't know, he was like dainty about it. He could fight, but not great. So I would just knock them out and say, come on, let's go to the movies. I don't understand. What's taking so long?
Jesus.
I got my dad's anger. Because
okay.
it's 6 boys, 4 girls.
That's funny because you're such a sweetheart. I didn't even know you were angry.
See? I'm
Look at
very
that.
angry.
Oh, bam, right?
It's called bipolar.
Oh,
It's
okay.
great.